Welcome to the Redefine Reality podcast. I'm your host, Rita Pura, and we are meeting with Stevie Wright. She's somebody that I saw on Instagram that had a reel that I really related to. And we're going to talk about that today and go deep into the world of relationships and how to call your man to rise without nagging him, without annoying him, without doing all the things that we would typically do so that we could get the love that we want. How about that? This is a podcast where we talk about what we did to redefine our reality. We were dealt a certain hand in life and we could have done this and done that, but we chose a certain path to become who we are today. We talk about those things, the journey, and what we did, how we got there, what we learned, how we redefined and redesigned our reality so that we can help you get there faster and give you the shortcut, the wisdom, the information, all the things so that you could redefine your reality too. Yay! Oh my God. Oh, look at that. You could see some random things over here. Let's push this on over. We don't need this. That better. Do not disturb sign on the door. Where is she? Is she coming? Is she coming? I need to raise this up just a tad. Yes. It's giving Bali vibes, nature girl. Wait, a little more this way. Yes. Oh, there we go. Kind of cute. Little simple studio. Go, Rita. It's your birthday. We gonna be cute in this bitch. Stevie Wright is a somatic healer for leaders, breathwork, medicine retreats, couples work, and confidence. And you can find her on Instagram at Stevie L. Wright.
Hi, Rita.
Hi, sweetheart. I feel like I'm looking in a mirror. You're like
Long hair.
winning. You're so cute. I love your energy. You're very like angelic. You have
Oh,
this like glow about you.
thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Oh, so welcome to the Redefine Reality podcast. I'm so excited to have you. I saw one reel of yours and I was like, you're coming on my podcast. It was literally just one reel. Do you know which one it is?
I'm curious. I had a couple do really well recently. Was it something about the couples work?
It was the one about your man and how you called him to rise, and he's just this king now, and he's holding space and facilitating and doing all these things, and it's just kind of something that happened. Whereas before you used to like be the nagging, annoying girlfriend who was like, can you heal and do the work? And I want to hear all about this because obviously I saw myself in that in like a multitude of ways. But first, I wanted to dive into a little bit about you, who you are, how you got to become this version of you that you are today, what you did to redefine and redesign your reality. And I'd love to hear about your journey, what you are serving the world with, and what you can offer the community to learn from you and take on your wisdom to move on with their life to be able to redefine their reality as well.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. I mean, there's so many places I could start from. I'm a somatic healer. I'm a breathwork facilitator. I call myself a healing artist, and I really support people. You know, what somatics means soma, or it means relating of the body. So all the work that I do is an embodied based approach, a nervous system approach, an approach to healing where you are getting into the body. It's not mindset. It's not very different from talk therapy. You're really getting into the body and uh, putting your attention on the places that are stuck in belief system, trauma, stagnant emotion, numbness, dissociation, fear, scarcity. You don't even have to touch, actually. There's a lot of work we can do just by putting our attention on these energy centers and giving the body the space and the time to complete what it didn't get to complete back then. Meaning, our first 7 years of life is really where we um, inherit a lot of our belief systems, a lot of how we view ourselves, how we view the world. And we come to the planet just these beautiful balls of sensation, pure life force, pure energy. Uh, we have big sad, big mad, big happy, big scared, big joy, big excitement. We actually do need help from, preferably from a parent, a loving witness, a loving other, to feel those feelings through. We don't have the know how, and honestly, we don't have the capability to feel it through on our own. So, what happens is we have those big feelings. If we didn't get the support we needed to feel it through, that feeling gets stuck in belief system. That feeling gets stuck in scarcity. That feeling gets stuck in worthlessness. That feeling gets stuck in I'm not good enough. And until we get the support to actually feel it through, here we are walking around the world in our 30s, our 40s, our 50s. But like in relationships, we have the consciousness of our 13-year-old, or in money, we have a consciousness of our 4-year-old, or in power, we have a consciousness of our 7-year-old, because the things that got stuck back then didn't get to move.
Yep.
And I can't even tell you how many times I've had people come to me saying, I've done years of talk therapy. I understand where I come from. I know my origin story. Nothing changes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably because, not to say that therapy doesn't work, there's definitely a time and place for it. Though what I found in my practice when helping, hundreds and hundreds of people now is you can talk about it and you can have a mental cognitive understanding, but actually healing the beliefs that live in the tissue, that live in the nervous system, that live in the body is something completely different. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's the work I do. Um,
Oh my God, Stevie, we do the same work. I'm
Amazing.
like over here, like I'm nerding out on everything you're saying. Because I call it stored stories.
Yeah,
And the stored stories that live in the body, and then they get to alchemize, transmute, and be released and redefined and all the things. What's insane is my clients have been losing like 30 pounds like that.
yeah,
Like it just melts
yeah,
away. Or they'll have chronic foot pain, plantar fasciitis, or knee arthritis, and it just
yeah,
disappears, just
yeah,
gone like magic. It's miraculous and it's so simple that it's crazy. You would think like, oh no way, there's no way, but it's exactly what's actually
right,
happening. So how do you explain that other than it lives in the body? And just like you said, there's something that was unfinished or not fully felt, or you didn't feel seen or understood, or whatever it was for you. You made it mean
right,
something, and you're carrying that
right,
meaning with you.
exactly. Right.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Nerding out big time.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what I do. You asked about how I got here. I would say the easiest kind of entry point is I really struggled a lot with self-worth, insecurity, really struggled a lot with performing. So, like acting happy. I also am a singer, I'm a performer. So, it was a very confusing way of being because it was true that I was a performer, but also I had to perform to get love. I had to perform to, I couldn't really bring my authentic self.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my early patterning, but I was also on American Idol when I was 16. And yeah,
Really?
I got really far. I sang for America, the judges, the whole thing.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 34.
Wow, I'm
Yeah.
41. Look at us. We look amazing. It's because we do this work, girl, you know? I feel like it really keeps you young and it makes you just glow. Like when you first came on, I was like, "Oh, she's got that glow.
Mm,
She's got that healing glow."
mm,
Like,
thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very angelic
Thank
essence.
you so
You're
much.
I love it. And then they say, "Mirror, mirror, like what you see within you."
Yeah.
So it's beautiful because I had this like super, super dark night of the soul that lasted like 3 years. So
Yeah.
on the other side of it,
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know it. I know that one well.
When was your last one?
I went through
Because it's not just a one and done thing.
Yeah. I went through, a pretty tricky time from mid-2023 to mid-2025, I would say.
That's exactly my time
Yeah,
frame of mine. And it was the relationship, which is what I saw in your reel that pulled me. And I was like, whoa, she's speaking exactly what I desire and also experienced a little bit
Yeah.
of, which is so
Mhm.
interesting. Yeah. So, this you're married, or
I'm
sorry,
married,
and it
yeah, we're
just
married.
you are
Mhm.
married. How long have you guys been married and together?
We've been together September will be 12 years that we've been together, and we've been married for 3 years. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
amazing. Can I ask you a very personal
Sure.
question? Okay. Um, did you ever feel like, should I stay or should I go? Were you ever in that energy of like, I should leave, but then choosing to stay?
100%. That was the catalyst to, the work that we do together as a couple now and the work that I help women with. The reel that you saw, that topic that was one of the catalysts of how I got here is because I was really sure I was like, "This is not I don't know if this is it." But I also love him so much, and what do I do? Because if I keep outgrowing him, it's just not gonna work, and I can feel that the way I'm pushing and forcing is it's killing our polarity, it's putting distance between us, but it was like the control of needing him to heal, needing him to grow, needing him to do the work was so, it felt so alive in me, and it felt like I couldn't stop because if I let go, then we would definitely break up. And so,
Wow.
100%, yeah, that was one of the catalysts. I remember actually, it was in 2020, we just moved into our current place, and I remember thinking I was in the shower, and I remember thinking like, "Oh, man, like, uh, this might not be it. Like, what do I" and it had already been, it had already been 6 years that we'd been together. So, it
Wow.
was
And you just moved into a new
yeah.
place. Was it like a lease or you purchased it
It was a
or?
lease, and I was like, "Okay, what am I
Mm,
gonna do?" Like, I was planning. I wasn't making plans to leave, but I was, like, ideating about what could this actually what's gonna happen, if this is
yeah.
not it. Yeah.
Wow. And then so what was it that made you decide, okay, you know what? I'm going to cultivate the shit out of this. I'm going to stay, and like what was it for you? How did you come to that decision of
I
staying?
was working with an incredible coach at the time, Deanna Smith. She's turned into a dear friend of mine and one of my, like, lifelong, people in my life, and she was really seeing in me. She was like, "You haven't given this a chance to really you haven't given him a chance to really rise because you are so in your masculine, you are so in
Mm,
your control, you're so in the non-trust of what happens if you actually let go."
mm,
Like, actually, you're asking me, you wanna be soft, you want a man who leads, you want a man who has direction, you want a man who has his dick in the world and is penetrative and, like, directive. You're not actually showing up in a way that would create that. And so, before you just call it, what could happen if you actually did that work? So, it was with her
that's beautiful.
yeah, yeah,
S- So did she tell you, this is perfect for the listeners because I know they're probably sitting at the edge of their seats kind of like, holy shit, wait, this is me. This is exactly the situation I'm in. I don't know if I should stay. I don't know if I should go. What is it that she advised you to do, or what does that look like for you to rest in your feminine and soften and let go? How do you do that? Like, that sounds great, but tangibly, like, what did you do
yeah.
differently?
So, well, to answer your question about, like, how do you know whether to so for me, I mean, every person is different. I can't answer that like a blanket statement. I think you have to know what's true for you and if you feel like you've really, put all that there is into this and you've taken all the lessons you can from this. I knew for me personally that I hadn't. I hadn't yet. I'd been showing up in a certain way and I was getting the same result. And so the thing was I hadn't fallen out of love with him. I was deeply in love with him. He was a good man. He was not toxic. He was not I mean, in our younger years, we met when we were 22. We were psychos, but
We were psychos. I love you. We were
but
psychos.
when late like, actually, as I started to do this work, it was not that. He wasn't toxic, he wasn't abusive, he's a wonderful, wonderful man. So, I knew, 1, like, do I still love this person? Deeply. Do I wanna lose them? No. Okay, so what can I control? I can't control him. I can control myself. I can change how I show up. So, specifically what that looked like is I made that decision. And then I remember I did I did a writing practice where it took me, swear it took me like 2 or 3 hours, and I wrote like 8 or 9 pages of who is Stevie who is in the relationship she wants. So I wrote as if I'm that version of me who feels the way I feel, and who is that? So I wrote about, um, how do I wake up in the morning? How do I feel in my relationship? How do I feel as a woman whose man has got it? How do I feel as a woman whose man leads her? How do I feel? And a lot of these feelings are really foreign.
Mhm.
Like I had no reference to go off of. I had to use all of my trust in God, trust in
Wow.
myself, trust in I get to have what I want. I deserve to have the relationship that I want. So I'm grasping from straws in a lot of ways because I had never, that wasn't my experience as a child with my own, my own early experience. So I'm grasping from straws here. So I'm going,
Yeah.
what is it like to in my body? How might I feel? And I would close my eyes and just go, okay, how would it feel to be led? How would it feel to know that I'm supported, that I don't have to handle everything on my own? And I was already doing somatic work at the time, and I swear my body was having its own dissolve just in the visioning of what that looked like.
Yeah.
I remember, like, I would, like, kind of there was a shaking in me, like a thaw was happening of this, like, clench that had
Yeah.
clenched for so long, of this control, this grip around my stomach, this grip around my throat, this grip around my yoni, that I just have to, like, oh my god, like, all the energy that it was taking me to hold,
Yeah.
I, like, had to let myself get very soft, and this is not over a day, so this I did this writing practice. I got very clear on, like, what it felt like, who that person was, how she showed up, how she spoke to him when he was in his old stories about, "I don't think I could do it," like, how does she respond to that? Is it
This is so amazing because this is backwards from what manifestation things are telling you to like visualize what you want in a man and a partner, how you want him to be. You're
no,
saying this is about
this is
you
about
and
you.
what you feel and how you feel when you're in this relationship, if you're being fully supported. So you're getting yourself actually energetically aligned and being a vibrational match by doing this to that version of you, which basically makes you become her.
And that's exactly why I think when people are manifesting in that way and calling in this perfect something something, he's like this, he's like this, he's like this, if your body actually can't receive him, if your body can't actually allow that love to come in, allow yourself to be led, it's pointless. So
Yeah.
you also have to ask yourself, and this is what I was asking myself, okay, how do I show up for him? What
Mm,
does he need from me? Not just what do I. What does he need from me?
that's so good. And it's so simple, but it's so
Yeah,
good.
like what does he need from me to rise into that? Does he need me to nag him? Does he need me to recommend another retreat? Does he need me to recommend another men's coach? No. He needs space. He needs time. He needs inspiration. He needs trust. He needs me to evoke it out of him with
Wow.
my love, with my sight, with my belief in him. And so that was my day in, I mean, it became my religion, honestly. Day in and day out, that's who I was embodying. That's how I showed up. He would come with me with the same old thing. And what you have to do, and this wasn't, I mean, it was a process, but if there was times where he would show up in the same old story, the same old way, and I got really quiet. I didn't shut down. I just like got still inside of me. And I said, okay, I have a choice here. I can nag him. I can push him. I can be like, well, no, don't think about it like that. I can do that, or I can breathe life into him. So what am I going to do? If I say that I'm embodying the version of myself who has the relationship he wants, what am I going to do? I'm going to breathe life.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't engage with it, meaning I wouldn't like ignore him, but I would just say like, honey, stop pretending you're less powerful than you are. And then I would walk away.
Wow. I love that.
Honey, don't
That's really actually that is something that if I were a man and I received that, I would be like, "Oh, like, I received that." That just gave me a bolt of yeah.
honey, stop, stop. I don't buy it. I don't buy you being this that you can't do it. I love you. You're gonna figure it out. Just like make it a non-thing. Like trust that actually he has the tools. And when a woman believes in a man, he'll figure it out. And here's the thing,
Mm,
if he doesn't, and this was one of my big fears that I actually wrote about. The
mhm,
fear was because it wasn't I wasn't writing, "Patrick shows up like this, Patrick shows up like that, Patrick does this." It wasn't about Patrick. It
mm,
was, "My man shows up like this, my man." And so one of the scariest parts about this was I actually had to let go that it was Patrick. It might not be him.
mm. Wow.
And I was like, "But no, I want it to be him." And it was like, "Nope. You what you're doing is you're saying, I trust the universe, I trust God, I trust my embodiment, I trust that my man will rise." And I had to be okay with it not being Patrick.
Ugh, Stevie, I love this shit so much right now. I'm like, this is so good. I'm not even kidding. Look, I
Oh my
don't say
god.
shit just to say
Yeah.
it. If you even like did a little bit of creeping on me, you know how real as
Mm.
fuck I am. Like
Yeah.
I just do not
Yeah.
yeah, I no. This is great. You are awesome. I love everything I'm hearing right now. I'm eating it up and I feel like this is only going to get better. So we're only like 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
This is
I mean,
great.
so that was really so that part there was hard because it was like I that was part of the control that it would needed to be Patrick. And
Yeah.
so it was and I remember just like
Wow.
tears streaming down my face, just like the grief of potentially losing him in the name of getting what I want and how I wanna
Wow.
feel.
Let me ask you, what was the story that he was coming to you with that you're like, okay, this again, and this would trigger your nagging or your whatever it was before? What was the story that he would come with?
There was a lot of different layers. I mean, one, at the time specifically, he was struggling, really heavily with, a pretty deep depression. So, I mean, it was COVID. There wasn't at the time, he was personal training. Um, since then, he's become a somatic healer.
I
So,
love
at the
that.
time, he was still training and stuff, and, uh, there
So
was no
good.
work. There was no work, so it also like, he already struggled with depression, and then not having purpose, not having work, it really sucked him. Um, and I think part of it was, like, he had all these dreams, he had these things that he wanted to do, but he didn't have follow through. He wasn't
Hmm.
taking the action, and so, that was one of the biggest things is seeing him say how he wants all these things, but then doing the same thing every single day. Um, and so going back to the piece about the grief, like letting it be okay and letting go that it needed to be him, praying that it was him, that he would rise, but also being okay if it wasn't. But my work was okay. Who am I? Who do I show up as that could actually invite him to rise? And if it's not him, I trust that the man who will meet me in the way that I want to be met is coming. But the one thing that was surprising about this process for me was, uh, after a few months, it wasn't immediate. I had to really stay the course. After a few months and I started to see shifts in him, I started to notice, "Oh, shit, this actually is working." Like, okay, and he didn't even know that I was in this process. I was
Uh,
I was in my own thing and just kinda watching. Uh After it started to work, the thing that surprised me is that he started holding boundaries with me. He started requiring a different, how do I wanna say it? He basically started requiring that I treat him differently. So there was ways in the old way, not only that I was pushing and forcing, but also there was a lot of disrespect, from my end, a lot of criticism, a lot of and there were when he started to start leading himself, when he was getting his own masculinity, when he was starting to step into his leadership, there were things that he was not available for in my behavior anymore.
like what?
Criticism, uh, not trusting him, when telling me no, like he had been, people pleasing me a lot. for a long time. And so he was no longer people pleasing me. And I pitched a fit, to be honest. I was like, it was so it was so new to me to have him hold boundaries with me, to have him say no, to have him not people please. And what's funny is I didn't want him to people please. I wanted him to be in his leadership. The people pleasing was part of what made me not respect him. But then when it
Yeah.
actually turned on me, I was like, oh shit, like, fuck, this is, it's not just people pleasing out in the world. It's also, he's not going to do it to me. And so
Yeah.
there was a redefining of our relationship in the way that I met him and his standards. So it wasn't just my
Wow.
standards. It was when he started getting into it, he had standards for me.
That's so good. I'm realizing something here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if there was this version of you that wanted these things, like we talked a little about you're not ready to receive that, you're not ready to actually be with that or hold that or experience that. You said earlier on that you guys were toxic and little psychos, which I love, by the way. The way that you said that was so funny. But that little psycho version of you is still in you.
Yeah,
She's still
exactly.
there and
Exactly.
she still wants him the way he is on some
Yes.
level. She still wants this dynamic the way it is on some
Yes.
level. So when this new version comes in, it's like, wait, no, what? Stop. No, I want the old way. That I like the old way
Yes.
better. This I don't like. It doesn't feel good. I don't feel or whatever, things have shifted.
Yes.
So it's foreign and it doesn't feel natural, doesn't feel right. And that part of you actually had to die, so to
Exactly.
speak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was actually faced with, because part of what the control was, it wasn't just about him. My control was an old defense mechanism from a young part of me that felt like if I don't control, it's not safe,
Yeah.
right? And so
Yep.
then
I can relate
so
massively.
once he started
Like,
holding boundaries and I couldn't control, I was met with all the unsafety that I had been uh pushing down.
wow.
I was met with all the unsafety, and there it was rearing its head that I had been
Wow.
mitigating with my control. And so it was such a gift too because that I did this, and also a gift that he stepped into it because then he demanded, to be honest. He demanded that I rise with him. He
Mm.
demanded out of me that I devote to my own practice of clearing my own worthlessness and shame and unsafety.
My God.
Yeah.
Does he have a brother? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Okay, listen, I have to tell you
Yeah.
something. Everything you're saying is like bubbling up inside me because there's so much I want to tell you, but there's a lot that I haven't told the
Yeah.
world that I'm keeping very
Yeah.
sacred and to myself. And it's just like I'm just dying to say it. And I'm just like, I can't, I shouldn't, I don't know how to. And there's so
Yeah.
much that what you're saying is just like, oh my God, I could really go in, but then it would be the Rita show. But I mean, it is, but it's not right
Right,
now.
right.
I wanted to ask you specifically, what are the things that you guys were doing that you would label toxic?
Oh,
Like, how toxic was it? How bad was it? And really, just help
yeah,
me understand that
yeah.
because there are women that are in something toxic. Like myself, the last 3 years was something extremely toxic. It was things that happened that I would tell any client
Mhm.
immediately get the fuck out and never look
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
But there are also things that are equally as so good and so rare in this world that it's like this brutal combination. But then I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, that's me too.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
me. So what was it that was toxic? Tell me the toxicity, like the worst of it. What was it?
Well, to be clear, so in this season that I'm speaking about, we weren't in that real crazy toxic place anymore. But I will share, like, when we were young, so we met when we were 22, and I mean, therapy, what's that? Personal development, never heard of it. Like,
Yeah.
it was not a thing. We had never heard, so we had basically just come from basically our early experiences, hadn't done a lick of work and fell in love and trauma bonded.
Well,
And
yeah, that's
so
it. The trauma
yeah,
bond.
and so, I mean, it's
Yeah.
incredible that we've made it through, that we've grown into who we are because the early days were I yeah, so tons of jealousy,
Mm.
lying on both sides, lying, manipulation, um, insecurity, going through phones, um, just like, I mean, like, it was just, the things that you hear about all the time, like going through each other's phone, like liking other girls' photos, liking other guys' photo, like, it was just we loved each other, and there was such a chemistry and such a passion, but it was also met with an incredible amount of, fear on both of our ends. Fear of losing each other, fear of having each other, lack of, avoidance, attachment, like avoidance, anxious. It was all of it wrapped into a nice little toxic bubble.
Was there any First, thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate that. And I know I'm like going into the nitty gritty, but this is where women who are listening will feel so seen and really get to maybe make a massive decision that they're really struggling with right now. So thank
Yeah, of
you
course.
for that. Can I ask also, was there any like name calling? Was it emotionally
No,
abusive,
we
like
didn't.
mentally, psychological warfare?
I would
Like,
say to be honest, mostly on my end. He was never emotionally abusive to me. I could be very vindictive in my young years, and I could be emotionally abusive. He would more so basically like lie and kind of evade and avoid, um, which made my made my thing even more intense. Name calling,
right.
actually, no, we didn't do a lot of name calling. It wasn't that, and to be honest, like it's not to say that you can't get through that. Like, if I've had couples come to me who are really, really in a toxic place, and sometimes it really doesn't work out, and it's true that it needs to be done and it needs to close. But if there's two people who want to make it work, who are willing to look at their own shit, who are willing to open, who are willing to be vulnerable, you wouldn't believe the shit you could get through with this work. If you are willing to show up that both of you are willing to show up in the way.
Oh, so good. That feels really good to hear. Even though something could be so awful, so horrible, I do feel that there are some things that could be like there's no coming back from.
Totally, and that's true too. Yeah.
But then even people come back from cheating, and I feel like that's the highest form of no coming back from because you actually went and like got naked with someone and let them inside you or let go and put yourself inside her. Like I personally could never trust again after that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Was
I
there
f
infidelity with you guys?
I feel that that it actually is healable, and it takes yeah,
Really?
and some people did really disagree with me on that, and I totally respect it, and I think that is different for different people. I think personally it is healable. It would be healable for me, and it would be healable for him. At this place, I mean, it's tricky to even think. Back then, yes, because we were in such a different place. At this point, maybe not at this point because it'd be so like after all the work we've done, after who we've become, after who we are, I think it would be different. But I don't.
Yeah, like a massive
Yeah,
betrayal,
yeah,
like on a whole new
yeah.
level,
But I
right?
don't think in general blanket statement, it's unhealable. I think if two people are really willing to put in the work and it's not just about forgiveness, it's actually about feeling your fucking feelings all the way through. It's about feeling the
Yeah.
heartbreak, feeling the betrayal, going all the way into the fuck you, all the way into the how could you. And if you let yourself, either partner, if you let yourself go all the way there and the other person can hold it,
Mm.
it can move. The energy can move,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
What happens though is I find that people will still have the memory of the thing. Like you'll still remember or get triggered or something will happen and you'll remember it. And then that brings the feeling all the way up again. Right. But then you can see it, notice it, feel it again, or just send it on its way. But at the same time, the thought comes up and it goes, I can't believe you did
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
and then your energy shifts, whether you in control of it or not, it still is felt. Like for one example, there was something that I experienced like him saying, and it just like triggered me at some point, and I was just kind of like, I shifted, like I just was quiet and I went
Oh,
inward, and then he called out me being quiet and going inward, and I'm like, I'm not reacting, I'm not snapping, I'm not treating you differently, I'm just quiet, right? But the energy is
yeah,
felt.
yeah,
And I really appreciate the reframe and the invitation to like see like it is healable. Like I believe that, but at the same time I see how just me from my own place and being a woman and knowing how I would feel if that happened. I mean, I have been lied to and cheated on in previous relationships, and I mean, the woman sent me screenshots of their conversations, and he still denied it to my
right,
face. This dude,
right,
and I still stayed,
right,
like,
right, right, right. Yeah,
because I had stuff to heal from, witnessing my mom staying and staying and
yeah,
staying and staying
yeah,
and staying. So that's why I shifted to the first sign of anything. I'm like, I'm out like a fat kid in
right,
dodgeball. I'm not staying for
right.
shit. But then this past relationship, it was me choosing again and again and again to stay despite the toxicity, the level that we reached. And it was like, I know that we're supposed to transmute this. We're supposed to cultivate the shit out of this and come out on the other side and then teach it to others. And he believes that too. So then it was like, okay, but then there's nothing happening. It's literally the same. Okay, maybe not. There are some things that are different and better, but then slip back into old ways again, and you're not really integrating a new way of being. It's slipping back, and it's like, I'm not available for this anymore. And I love that you set these standards for yourself. You're just like, listen to yourself, Stevie, this is what we want. Okay, so this is who I have to become, or this is who I get to become to receive this. And then here he actually stepped into that and you received it. And then it was like, whoa, wait, okay, this is really happening here. And it was probably like this out of body experience for you where did you feel sensation in your body when like this shift happened? What was the first moment you recognized that he shifted? Do you remember that?
I don't remember the exact moment. I remember the season and I remember the feeling. What I
Mm,
remember is I remember the feel like it was I had a sensation. I remember the feeling of it's working. I remember like feeling like, oh my God, okay, it's working. Trust the process. And it was something about something he said about himself or something that he said I'm gonna do and then followed through and like achieved. It was something like in that realm. And it was also again, it was even though I didn't like it, I had my witness on it, so even though there was part of me that was closing around it, when he did start holding boundaries with me and having standards for what he wanted as well, I was like, "Wait, this is what I want. This is what I say I want. Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I have this? Am I gonna let this in? Am I gonna let this in?" So there was the conversation and the felt sense within my body that was like, "Oh my gosh, he's shifting. He would have never held a boundary with me before. He would have never asked for his needs before. He would
yeah.
have never said no
Wow.
before. I don't like it, but also this is what I'm asking for. Can I receive this? Can I s"
But what did he start to do? Like you were showing him, here's this retreat, here's this whatever. Like what was it that he started doing
So,
that shifted
yeah, a
him,
couple
do you
things.
think?
One, he we were in somatic therapy at the time, and my, our somatic healer actually asked him though to you she's like, "You've been pushing down your depression your whole life. You've been fighting against it, and that's why it will not budge no matter what you do. You need to welcome it. You need to
Mm,
completely let yourself come apart." And he was like, if I do that, I'll never come out." And
wow.
she was like, "You gotta trust me. Like, I promise you, you gotta trust me. If you let it completely take you over and feel the things that depression, what all it is it's a pressing down of emotions. When you've been pressing down emotions your whole life, it gets depressing because there's a
Mm,
numbness that forms. There's a heaviness that just takes you over because you haven't been in expression. Depression, the opposite of depression is not like joy and happiness, it's expression.
Mhm.
So the first thing he did was he got very, very dedicated and devoted to welcoming his depression. So for what that looked like for him is he would actually let himself feel the deep grief, feel the deep hopelessness, feel the deep sadness, and let his body, like he would give himself daily practices where he let his body go completely into it. He
Wow.
let it completely take him over. He let himself feel the feelings. He had support during this. Um, but he let himself completely be taken over and start feeling the things that that he'd been pressing down his whole life. So that was one. And the thing was, for a while, it looked like there was no light at the end of the tunnel, but then he would have these little glimpses of like, "Wait, I actually feel that I feel a little better after I just felt that. Oh, wait,
Wow.
okay, something feels a little bit different." Like, he had, like, little minuscule glimmers. So he kept at it until and this is like a year of doing this, and it was really, really hard. We were also we're both big into plant medicine. We were doing a lot of plant medicine and setting the intention to support him. I mean, I had my own intentions, but he was doing the work to bring the depression up and let his little boy be heard, let his little boy be seen and
Mm,
felt and held. So that was one. He also got into a somatic training because he had seen so much of a result and a transformation from his own somatic healing. So he did the same somatic training that I did. He wanted to get out of training and help others and other men in this place. So he did a year-long somatic training, a certification. He got really, really diligent. I mean, part of the depression was just make him like go into like check out. He got really diligent. He got a cold plunge. He set up a very, very he doesn't even do it anymore because he doesn't need it anymore. He does some parts of it, but at the time, he really needed a very diligent and strict morning routine. He did a cold plunge. He did, um, 10 minutes of meditation, 10 minutes of breath work, 20 minutes of stretching. Like, he was getting very, very into his practices that made him feel good, and it was just that built upon itself. It's been there's all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of trainings he's done. We did, like, some polarity work, um, some masculine feminine workshops and dynamics and couple stuff. It's been 6 years since then, so it's been a long process, but he works with clients now. He works with men, he supports men in the same place that he was in 6 years ago. He has a podcast where he's really sharing about his experience. He got off all medication. He got off
wow. What is this podcast
the
called?
Patrick McGann show on the
The what?
Patrick McGrann podcast.
Patrick McGrann
Yeah,
podcast. And do you have a
I do.
podcast? What is it
Of course
called?
you can.
Of course you can.
Mhm.
Of course
Yep,
it's called
yep.
that. I love you. So good.
Very on
So
brand.
this it's so good. It's so good, Stevie. Tell me, what is the somatic training that you did that he went and did
Yeah, we
too?
both did, Stacey Matulis's alchemy somatics training. Yeah,
Beautiful. Wow. And so when you said that he was stuck in like this depression and he didn't know his purpose, I swear you're mirroring to me everything. And the possibility of like what could be is like staring me dead in the face right now. And this is what had me holding
right,
on the whole
right.
time. It's just so frustrating. And then it brought out the worst in me. It sent me back to my like toxic psycho
Yeah,
self.
totally.
I love that you used psycho. You're like still with me. I don't know. But yeah, I really appreciate your vulnerability. I genuinely do. I love when someone is this real and this raw and this honest and transparent because this is the most healing that it could possibly be for someone who's
Yeah,
listening.
thanks for saying that. I appreciate that, and to be honest, like, we've just, like, honestly scaled mountains together, and so we don't have shame about this process. Like, we actually are really proud of this process. There's nothing that we don't wanna share about it because we know how we because so I we both, I work with women. He works with men. I work with men sometimes too, and then I work with couples, and we work with couples together. We do couples retreats. We have couples workshops and things. We do a lot of work together. And having both the female and the male perspective when you're working with a couple is really helpful. But
I can't believe you just said this. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. In my last episode I had with Leola, she's like this
Mhm.
tantra
Yeah.
person, beautiful soul, love her. And I told her my vision that I've had for years now of hosting a retreat. I'm holding space for the women the first week. He's holding space with the men the first week. Then we
Mhm.
switch. So then I'm holding
Mhm.
space for the men. He's holding space with the women. And then the third week, we come together and they practice everything they have
Mm,
learned and integrate it. And they literally leave the space having embodied it
yeah.
all.
Yeah,
Right.
it's gorgeous.
And it was so
Yeah.
good. So what's so crazy is I saw an online version of
Mhm.
this last
Mhm.
year, and it was compressed into, I don't know if it was weeks or if it was days, but it was online. And I was like, this is my vision. Confirmation. Thank you. And I really see myself supporting men and women. And I've been getting a lot of messages from men, and I'm just like, nope, I just work with women. I guess there's a part of me that feels like some men just want to get close to me for the wrong reasons or pretend that they need the work or want to learn, and it's just to talk to me. I've had some
Some experiences like that.
reach out like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, it's just safer this way, but it's sad because I really feel like I can help men in a massive way and they might actually listen to me.
Supporting.
Like when I was a fifth grade teacher and a college professor, like attention students, yes, Miss Pira,
Mm,
like they were all in.
yeah. It's supporting men is such a gift because when you know how to work with men and you know what they need, they really grow. They really transform, and when a man is open to like, I have men come to me because they keep having the same issues in relationship, and
Mm,
and also they have a lot of self-worth stuff, so they have a lot of stuff around, shame and worthlessness that they want a healthy female like, feminine's perspective and support around. Helping a man it's such a gift. It's awesome, honestly.
wow,
Yeah,
that's so
it's
inspiring.
really fun.
What is it or how I see, I wonder if this is different because the way that I help a woman with her self-worth and with her shame, like that's something that I do actually at my retreats, like a really massive part of it is alchemizing shame and I call it claim your
Mhm.
shame. And the power in that is that's what releases that weight that they're carrying, the physical pain in their body. Like it's something, one woman was carrying a story about when she was molested as a child that she never spoke out loud for 27 years. She's never said a word about it. And she said it in front of these 9 women or 8 women in a circle, complete strangers, and just released it and cried her eyes out, alchemized it, transmuted it into the fire in front of us. And it was just so powerful. She came back to the second fire circle that we did, that was like 2 weeks or 3 weeks later. She told us she lost 15 pounds since that last time, and she didn't diet or exercise or anything. And then it just continued to melt off because she was no longer carrying that. And the veil was lifted. So then she started to see what she was tolerating because of that lack of self-worth and the shame she was carrying. Then the marriage she was in just became completely intolerable. And it was like, how the fuck have I been in this for this long? Like, no, this is not okay. This is not okay. This is not okay. And then she lost a total of 47 pounds without a single change in her
Wow.
diet or exercise or
Yeah.
anything. Like, that's so powerful, right? Like, that's proof it's living in the body. She's carrying it. So, for that, for her to release that shame and that self worth to be restored, right? How is it different for men? What is it? So, say you said that you've had men come to you and they want a woman's perspective or experience or wisdom from or to look at their worthlessness or their self-worth or their shame. What does that look like when they come to you? How do you help them? What do you do for them? What do you say to them? What does it sound like? What does it look like?
My experience with men is that they're oftentimes a lot more numb. They're a lot more disconnected from their feelings.
Yeah.
And so one, it's building up a lot of trust, and there's actually a lot of psychoeducation. It's not somatic right off the bat for most men. It's not, we're not gonna go there right off the bat. It's a lot of psychoeducation around, listen, you're very numb. You've been very locked out for a long time. It's gonna feel like this work isn't doing much, and I promise you, we are clearing the swamp right now. We are clearing the bog, and if you can
Mm,
just trust that there is something clearing, and at some point you will be able to feel sensation and emotion again, trust me, this is so it comes with a lot of psychoeducation at first. It comes with a lot of trust building. It comes with a lot of, like, "You're doing it exactly right. This is exactly," just, like, championing them exactly where they are, reflecting to them really honestly what I see in their relationships or how they treat themselves or how they're showing up in their lives, like, the incongruences, but leaving a lot of time and space, not no pushing, no pushing.
yeah.
It's very
Wow.
much like, and then after a while, what happens is after there's trust built and after they've cleared some of their numb, if you're doing a good job at building trust and rapport with someone, he'll be able to start making contact with his pain.
Mm.
And then you just be a really loving, present witness as he starts to touch some of his pain and starts to be able to finally make contact with some of those places and helping him, like, really connect with his little boy and what he needed back then, and bringing his little boy into current time, and yeah, it's
Stevie, you're so
oh,
good.
thank
I
you.
feel
Oh,
I feel your healing powers, your healing magic. Even your voice is so soothing and so soft and just so relaxing, inviting, and healing. It really, really
Rita,
is.
thank you so
I'm just
much. Thank you.
absolutely loving my time with you
Me
right now. I'm
too.
really grateful that we connected, that you just popped into my feed that day. So
Me
great, so
too. Me
wonderful.
too.
So you mentioned retreats. So you guys host retreats together, or do you do individual ones as well?
Yeah, I do. We do medicine couples retreats, medicine retreats. I do
Where?
all different places. We do Joshua Tree, we've done LA. I've done I so when I'm doing I'll do women's retreats on my own, women's medicine retreats. And I'll do them here in LA, I'll do them in Joshua Tree. I also get flown all over. Like, people will have me come and do a private for a group of their girlfriends. Like, we go to New York twice a year. I've gone to um, you know, Zion National Forest. Like, there's all sorts of places we've been, me and my co-facilitator. Um, and so if people can also, they don't have to just come to me, they can also have me come to them wherever they are. But Patrick and I, we've done a few, and they've all been in Southern California.
When are your next ones
We don't have
together?
anything planned right now. No, we're trying to get
Really?
pregnant, and so we're just kind of,
Oh,
yeah, we're trying to see, like, where are we at? What are we doing? Where are we gonna be? So we haven't planned anything for this year yet. Yeah.
oh, I love
But we will.
that.
We do private couples coaching all the time. We have sessions all the time.
What a powerful
Yeah,
time for you to bring a soul
yeah,
through, because he is who he is now
totally.
and you guys are the way you are now.
Yeah.
Oh, oh,
It's gonna be fun.
precious.
We're excited.
Oh, babe, this is so good. Honestly, I love this because you're just such a mirror in so many ways. And yeah, it's really powerful. And I'm feeling so deeply called to actually connect you with my partner. I'm
Oh,
feeling
so you
like
guys are
this.
still
This
together.
is
You have a partner right now? I don't know if you
so
have that on the
okay. Guess it's coming out. Here it
phone.
is. Here's the truth. Here's the reality of the state of my life. And, I'm huge on integrity and I'm huge on transparency and honesty. And I've been like keeping this from the public because I have so much shame
Mhm.
around how awful it's been. And like, I'm so good at this and like so bad at this. Like, how is that possible? Um, Shit.
I'm here with you. I'm here with you.
So I've held on for so long, and big part of my soul has been like be done, leave, finish, be done. And I've actually ended it and tried to walk away and leave so many times, but something pulls me so firmly. I can't. I literally cannot let go. I don't know if this is like the most severe of trauma bonds to ever exist. It's karmic for sure. And we are so similar. It's eerie. He is literally me on so many levels. And the way we met, so many synchronicities is just crazy. Like, from the smallest things to both of our birthdays being on the 30th and born at the quarter of the hour, to having been in sales all of our lives, or both from Chicago and then ended up living in Arizona without a plan and then ended up living in California, and just like parallels. And someone just connected us when I came back to Chicago from Bali. He was coming back to Chicago to renew his driver's license. And then he connected us, and we've been inseparable ever since. So, to answer your question, we just signed a lease
No
together.
way. Oh my God, no
That's what
way.
I'm saying. Like when I told you
Oh my
earlier,
God, dude.
I was like, Stevie,
Oh my God. I know that place.
Stevie, we just signed a
Oh,
lease.
honey. Oh my gosh. Mm.
Oh, man. So, how do people work with you? What is your offer to the world? What do you charge? Tell me all the things, not just for me, but for whoever's listening. So, in case I cut that part out, I'll start it back right here.
Yeah. I just want to, whether you cut it out or not, I just want to tell you how grateful I am that you shared. I know that that was hard, and I really, really get it. I promise you.
I know you
Yeah,
do.
I really get it, and I really hear you, and I'm sorry it's so hard, and I also just want you to know it doesn't have to be that way.
So, really, though, like, how does somebody work with you? What does that look like?
Yeah, so people can work with me in a multitude of ways. I have a couple group programs. I have a somatic microdosing program because I work heavily with plant medicine. I find that the blend, the medicine work and the somatic work, the embodiment is really powerful. I have a breathwork and somatic embodiment membership. If you're wanting to just have something daily, like a daily practice of getting into your body and working with your emotions and your feelings and, raising your energy, raising your creativity, it's called the Breath Channel. And then you can work with me privately as well. And I always work with within a 12 session package with people. Yeah.
Amazing. And where can people find you, my dear Stevie
Yeah,
Wright?
come hang out with me on Instagram. It's Stevie L Wright _. You can find all my links in my website and all the things, but I also just like to talk to people. So feel free to DM me and say that you listen to Rita's podcast, and we can connect that way too.
So good. And I'll link everything on the show notes and all of that. Thank you so much for
It
joining
was
me today. You are truly such a beautiful soul. I'm so grateful that the algorithm sent you my way that day. And I just felt this pull and I acted on it. And here we
me
are.
too, Rita.
I feel like we're going to be
Yeah,
friends, soul sisters for
yeah,
life.
me too.
You are me. I am
Yes.
you. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
This is
Thank you so
great.
much for having me. You're a wonderful interviewer, and you can just tell how much you give to your community, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.